to order. John Donne famously asked a long time ago for whom the bell tolled, and we know that when there's a tragedy, we are all touched by it in our country. The people of Boston, especially the victims and their families, remain in our thoughts and prayers today. We're thankful for the first responders and brave citizens who bravely ran to the scene to help others in the midst of chaos and uncertainty. Terror and cowardice will be met with justice and resolve. Mr. Tierney, who is a member of our committee and this subcommittee, represents the state of Massachusetts, and I especially want to express to him that our hearts go out to him and all of the people of Massachusetts today for what happened in Boston yesterday. Good morning. Welcome to our subcommittee hearing to explore the role of federal student aid programs in the nation's higher education system. We have an excellent panel of witnesses with us today, and thank you all for joining us. In the coming months, we will work together to reauthorize the Higher Education Act. Established in 1965, this law is intended to help low and middle-income students earn a degree. The 2008 reauthorization of the law included several provisions to help enhance transparency, requiring colleges and universities to make information about price, demographics, financial aid, and graduation rates available to the public for the first time. However, more work must be done. College costs continue to skyrocket, and too many students struggle to navigate our financial aid system. Families face uncertainty about repayment options and confusion about the differences between various aid programs. Under the Higher Education Act, there are several student financial aid and college access programs, from Pell Grants and Stafford loans to Gear Up and federal work-study programs. Each program has unique characteristics, eligibility requirements, and funding streams. As we begin exploring ways to strengthen the Higher Education Act, we must first take a hard look at federal student aid programs to determine what is and is not working for students, families, and taxpayers. Without a doubt, there are opportunities to strengthen the current system. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's Reimagining Aid Design and Delivery Project recently released several reports from business, higher education, civil rights, and public policy leaders that offer proposals to improve federal financial aid so more students can realize the dream of a college education. The reports offer a wide range of suggestions, including reducing the current aid system to a, quote, one grant and one loan structure, eliminating program inefficiencies, and simplifying the federal aid application process by linking it with IRS information. The reports also raise the question of whether the federal government should maintain its traditional focus on improving access to higher education or should move toward a system that ties federal student aid to student outcomes, job placement, or graduation rates. President Obama has indicated his support for the latter, proposing campus-based federal aid only be allocated to higher education institutions that limit tuition increases and provide good value. In this debate, we find ourselves at a crossroads between accountability and limited government. The federal government spends more than $140 billion on financial aid programs annually. Given the significant amount of taxpayer money being spent and our nation's budgetary challenges, we all want to ensure dollars are actually helping more students earn college degrees. However, we must also be mindful of the consequences that could come with expanding the federal government's role in the allocation of financial aid. Federal financial aid programs intended to help low-income Americans pay for college should never be used as bargaining chips to impose federal price controls, nor should we take any action that could limit students' ability to choose the institution that best suits their needs. Additionally, adding more reporting mandates could create more cost and red tape for institutions, which could trickle down to students in the form of higher tuition. We are fortunate to have with us today a panel of higher education leaders who can discuss the merits of various proposals for reform as we begin a larger discussion on the appropriate federal role in higher education, and I look forward to their testimony. Before I yield to my distinguished colleague, Ms. Bonamici, who is substituting currently for Mr. Hinojosa, I'd be remiss if I did not mention the President's fiscal year 2014 budget proposal, which was released last week after much delay and anticipation. While the plan as a whole is disappointing, there's one bright spot in the higher education arena. I'm very pleased to see that the President seems to have embraced Republicans' proposal to shift the calculation of student loan interest rates away from Washington politicians and toward a market-based formula. As you may recall, this was the subject of a recent hearing before the full committee where we heard from economists and higher education experts about the way this plan will help provide more stability for borrowers and taxpayers. I hope we can work together with the administration to find common ground on a student loan interest rate plan. Again, I'd like to thank our witnesses for joining us today, and I now recognize Ms. Bonamici, one of the Democrat members of the subcommittee, for her opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Chairwoman Foxx. And I'm making this statement on behalf of Ranking Member Hinojosa, and I know we would join you in keeping the families and victims of Boston in our thoughts and prayers. To begin, I'd like to thank our distinguished panel for joining us this morning. I'm eager to hear your testimony regarding federal financial aid programs. As we are aware, the Higher Education Act of 1965 made college more accessible to all students through grants and loans.